BCP? You down with BCP? Yeah. To the tune of OPP, minority by nature. No time for idle chitter chat and petty iterations. Teaming to me exponentially like I'm Barack's inauguration. Erratic calculations, nah, I runs the infinite. Only way I slow me down is with some calcing by a limit. They might no longer show the work, the answer's self-evident. Some truth should be proclaimed in the Declaration of Independence. Things not instantaneous can be approximated by adding up our changes till everything integrated. Word to my partners in calculus. Yo, you down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. Integral, grind exponential. You down with BCP? That's the way we rotate radiannually. You down with BCP? Down with BCP? You down with BCP? You down with BCP? That's the way we do things limitlessly. Yeah. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Let's blow. Switch the flow. Shift the tempo. You down with BCP? Down with BCP? You down with BCP? You down with BCP? That's the way we do things limitlessly. Yeah. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Let's blow. Switch the flow. Shift the tempo.
I'm the only one dancing, I see.
Respect the pivot, bro.
Well, yeah.
Mean median mode. Accumulate the statistics with my bars each row.
And who knows? J2K might be even dancing right now.
Man, I know
Yeah.
J2K is dancing his ass off right now.
I'm playing groove right now.
One of these days, I'm just going to buy you a camera, J2K. All right? So I can see you.
I'll just dance for the intro, and then I'll go back to my camera view.
You were like, here, I sent you this video.
Well, first of all, Shad Speaker, thanks for the membership for 4 months. So appreciate it, bro.
Chad Speaker.
Prometheus. Yes.
Oh, Prometheus. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Prometheus.
Can't do it on a one name word there. Yeah. Who else we got here?
Mr. Mayhem.
Creighton Wilfong.
Oh, that's a good one. Come on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Creighton Wilfong.
Wilfong.
Relentless.
Really? What? 1, 2, 3.
Relentless. Mikey. All right, Mr. Shorty.
Okay.
All right.
I annoy
we got?
myself. Wait,
Mr. Mayhem. Roberto Fernandez.
We can easily do our newbie here, Zilla 007. Ready?
Zilla. 007.
7. Oh, come on, Armando. We can do Armando. Ready?
Armando.
Junior. What's
Zilla 007. And that's a good name. All right. So, yes, guys, thank you guys for joining us. Mr. Mayhem, as always, appreciate you. And glad to have J2K in the building.
What's up, J2K?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for, taking your time out of your day to come hang out with our annoying asses. We appreciate it.
Victoria, Mr.
No, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited to talk about this schedule and what it means to the season.
Aiming low. Right now, I'm telling you guys off top. I'm aiming low.
Low. I'm pretty optimistic.
All right, wait. We got another one in chat, PJ.
Minister
Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson.
This guy's really excited about a Johnson right now. Just
who can't help but want a nice Johnson?
Bear Down Sports.
Bear Down Sports. Adam Mason. Petty Lara.
I haven't seen Adam in a while. How you been, Adam? I forgot that was him. Bear down.
Adam
I haven't
Mason.
seen none of his videos lately either.
Oh, he just did one tonight about something that pisses me off, and
Oh,
not
okay.
that he pissed me off. It's a subject that pisses me off, and we'll get into that. Wait for him to calm down later on in the show.
One thing I can't say about Adam Mason's videos, they are always informative. Even when I disagree with some of the things he may say, they're informative. He does a good job of stating his case. So, man, I can respect that.
You know what makes them work is Adam Mason has a great personality. He's a good dude, and he comes off with a lot of. You just believe in what he's saying, and you believe in his opinion, and that's all it is. But a lot of it is also not opinion. He gives you the facts, which actually makes it better than that. And
Right.
we give you very little facts here. You come here for opinions and for fun, and we're happy with that. That's what we've designed ourselves to do.
Yeah.
We're made by
I
the
bring
fans.
facts when I'm around.
What's that?
I bring a little fact when I come around.
Yeah,
so.
thank you. When we want facts, we bring in J2K.
And he's nothing but facts. So that's why I always defer to him when it comes to speaking facts. J2K is truly the man.
I mean, if you want a part-time job, you can join us every week, J2K. You can just be part of the panel with us.
I'll just be
A
the facts
part-time
guy.
job.
I'll just jump in with a fact.
The facts are.
No, I mean, we love having you on the show. If you want to just join us, just come on. Let's make it happen, dude.
The real invitation?
It's a real invitation. You want to be a part of the show every Thursday? You're welcome. Please do.
Pull another seat up to the table.
Yes.
There's plenty of room. I'll
Pull
think
up
about
the
it.
chair.
It depends on if you want to be paid $0 for a part-time job.
Hey, that one's pretty good. No taxes, right?
You avoid taxes all the way around. Yes.
You got to look at the positive, bro.
Right.
No taxes.
Keep it under the table. Well, shoot, man, I'm in the chat all the time, so yeah, man, I'd be down. That's a
All
very
right,
nice offer. I
Let's
appreciate
work
that.
on that. Let's work on
All
that.
right.
We'll get you set up. That would be awesome. It's always so much fun to talk with you.
Yes.
And
Thank
especially because I said this a million times, but because we can't see your face, when you start like chuckle laughing, like barrel over laughing, it's like infectious.
You
don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from all around.
It's like
surround sound.
Yeah, because we got J2K. Actually, he's really laughing. Like, look how special that is.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yes. STC. Guys in the chat, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is Thursday, May the 15th.
That's a good way of doing the beginning to the show. So we know what the date is. Because if you go back and look at it, I don't put the date in the show. It never tells you when it was re-aired.
Yeah, I only said it like 8 minutes into the show, but it's May the 15th.
Yeah, it's May the 15th, 2025. How you guys doing?
I'm peaceful.
First off, I don't know where the hell Foster is.
He had
And
an emergency with his brother. I think his brother's ill or something.
I hope his brother was okay then.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Carl's in the background, but he's not here. So
Carl has some things to take care of.
So I'm totally ignoring my phone. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I should have just paid attention to the 4-way chat, and then I was like, yeah, what's
Soon to be 5-way chat with J2K.
Oh yeah, look at that. As long as he's comfortable with his number being given to all of you guys.
Well, I can't speak for no one
big
else.
maybe. No, absolutely. You guys already have my number, in fact.
Right. I know. I can't speak for no one else. I know I have it. But
Well, I just assumed Foster didn't. Why'd you get it to Foster?
he over the roof. That's why. You don't want Foster coming over. Hey,
Ding
man, you
dong.
need a roof.
You know, I noticed that you have some hail damage on your roof. If you just claim this on your insurance company, I can fix it for you for free. It
All
only
I
takes
need to
me
do
6
is just
months.
camp out in your backyard for 6 months, and I can have it finished for you.
That fucker, he's not even here. Even though we make fun of him in fun because it's like he's here. I just wish he was here.
Yeah, it's always better when he's here.
Yeah. Hey, Foster, go watch the first 10 minutes, the first 11 minutes of the show when we pick on you.
Can't have a show without picking on Foster. I love that guy. That's when you know you really like somebody, when you can pick at them.
Oh, man.
And my thing is always, you laugh with them, not laugh at them.
And we have the most fun doing that with each other.
Yes.
I mean, it's what makes it so special with you guys. Illinois Jones, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Illinois Jones. Looks like we have Carl. Carl is in the house. You want to come in and say hi, Carl? We miss you.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Okay, good. Get
Hey,
the fuck out of
Carl.
here. Nice, yeah, goodbye.
Sorry.
That's enough. That's enough, Carl.
That was enough, Carl. Yeah, that was way too much.
You used up your minutes for
Bye.
for the night.
That was cold, man. That was cold. That
No,
was-
seriously, Carl, you don't fuck with you. Come in, man. What's going on, my friend?
Not much. Kind of a tumultuous last 24 hours.
I
more or
agree.
less. But
I agree.
we're here. Everything's fine.
I have a rant to go on. I have 2 rants to go on, by the way. I'm trying to find the right moment for them. I'm not sure if I should start off with one of them.
Why not?
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to save the good one for later. What the fuck is up with some guy that wrote a book making a big deal about Caleb Williams not wanting to be on the Bears, and that his dad got involved and they went down they had to find out, what did Elway do? And they had to look into the Elway camp and how did they get out of the Colts? And what did Eli Manning do? And how did they get out of the Chargers? And like literally took it to that level to where Carl, the truth, William, Caleb's dad, was like, because we talked about this last year before the draft. Like, is it really true that his camp doesn't want him to play for the Bears? Deion Sanders, shit on the Bears, fuck the Bears, blah, blah. And listen, we are fans of the team. We know it firsthand. We can't disagree with it. That's the worst part. We can't disagree with why the fuck would you want to play for the Bears with the first pick quarterback coming out that has the talents that you have, that you think you can elevate a team to. Why would you want to go to the Bears? And it was talked about ad nauseum until it just kind of went away. And now it's back in the spotlight because some author wrote a book and he's trying to make money off of it. And it just so happens it comes out right after the schedule is released. And that's my first rant. I want to fight that author in a dark alley right now, because
You did say fight, right?
I did say fight. I want to fight him in a dark alley somewhere in Chicago, preferably. I will drive up there and meet him in that dark alley behind a bar. The alley has been pissed and shit in by all the drunks that are at that dive bar. That's where I want to be. I want to kick his ass and throw him in a dumpster alive.
Bring your Thundercat sword.
I'll bring
Well,
my
less than-
Thundercat sword. I'll beat him with it, but I won't stab him with it. I'm not looking to kill anybody. Just put him in this place. And here he is. He's trying to make money off of his book. And, look at all the shit coming out. I mean, even Adam Mason did a show about it earlier. And I understand. We get it. But why not? Like, why? This is the time where ultimately the CHGO interview with this fuck came down to, well, yeah, he's happy to be with Ben Johnson. Well, why even fucking bring it up then? Why? Why put it in our faces that we all had to know as fans that he never wanted to play? Like, fuck you. Go read the book. Who reads books anymore, by the way? I can't even believe somebody would write a book anymore.
Hey,
Who's gonna fucking buy it? Nobody reads books. If you, our generation and below, I would like to know what percentage of people even read books. 20%. So you have to go promoting your book, trashing and talking about there is no bigger team in the fucking podcast world in the world that if is good. Before that, if is good statement, there is no bigger sports fucking podcast in the world, bar none, with all the different creators, all the different networks, everyone trying to get into it, other than the Bears.
hey, I was going to promote a book tonight.
Everything else takes second stage to the Bears, and they know it. So, just to finish my rant, this guy's trying to sell a book. Don't buy into his shit right now, okay? Caleb Williams, because the whole interview with CHGO came full circle. Well, he's happy to be here now, and he loves Ben Johnson. And after shitting on, like, well, look what happened last year. Of course, he proved right that's what his camp didn't want to. The reason why they didn't want to come here, because look what happened. But look what happened. They did him right. So fuck the narrative, because some guy is trying to sell a book, and please do not buy it if you still read books. I'm done.
Well, speaking of books, I do want to promote a book.
Okay.
Can I promote a book?
Please do.
All right.
It's a perfect time to.
There's a gentleman who I so happen to work with who actually had a tryout with the Bears a few years ago. He wrote a book. I don't know if you guys can see this or not.
Oh God, I just trash people for not reading books anymore. And
Well, that's why I'm going to promote a book.
please read more books, guys.
Yes. Don't Let the System Beat You by Dwayne Wallace. He had a tryout with the Bears. And like I said, he's a guy I work with. Fantastic guy.
What an asshole!
Fantastic guy.
I am.
Fantastic guy. I love this guy and this dude. Man, if this book, because I just got it in Amazon myself. I just picked it up from Amazon, so I haven't read it yet, but I just got it. And if it's anything like he is, I'm sure to be a great read. So guys, please
Read more.
Buy this book on Amazon.
I can't believe I just accidentally segued myself into that.
Hey.
I like how you stunk into the hole that you dug yourself.
Yeah, you're saying people still do read books?
Yes.
And I did want to respond to that whole book story and stuff. I wonder how many first overall drafted quarterbacks have kind of felt the same way. Yes, and please read the book. Please check out PJ's
Dwayne
friend's book. It's Dwayne Wallace. Don't Let the System Beat You.
Because
But
of course,
I did want to
still read books. I apologize, PJ.
I wonder how many first overall quarterbacks have kind of felt this way, and it just never came out. And I don't really blame. Yeah, I don't blame Caleb and his family and his camp for feeling this way, because there was a reason we were picking first overall. Wasn't that good, and Eberflus wasn't inspiring. Not even having an offensive coordinator at the time wasn't inspiring. So, I can kind of understand it. For me, I look at it like, where are my shoes now? Yeah. Right? We got Ben Johnson. We got Caleb Williams. What a perfect combination, and I'm going to look forward. So I'm just going to kind of let that narrative just wash itself away once we start winning games.
I agree. Do we have to flip a coin for who talks next, or?
No, I'll let Carl go. I think I've already stated how I felt.
I thought that it was really, really just frustrating. I called it a smear campaign on Twitter earlier. I mean, they released that And the book is not out yet, so it's not that they chose to do this on some old piece of content that they dug up, right? It is a book that's going to come out, I think, in September. But why is this coming out around the same time as Disney saying, oh, ESPN is going to offer direct-to-consumer, right? I don't mean to be the crack pipe on the panel here, but it's just awkward timing, you know? Oh, he was going to go to the Vikings. He's begging to go to the Vikings.
That's
all
right.
these weird things. My anger is at both Carl Williams and at Disney, ESPN. I did a poll. I'll see if I can find it. I said, who is more evil, Disney or Carl Williams? And it was like a 50-50 split across 150 views. Yeah, literally 50-50, 130 votes. I don't know if you could see that, but you could see the bar right there. It's even. So I don't know, man. It's silly. It's BS. It's after the fact. Obviously, we're a little bit more in the cut, so we've heard Taylor Dahl report, oh, he wasn't watching film with him, all these things with Mr. On the Spectrum, Shane Waldron. Shout out to J2K for that one. I don't know. I don't have much else. He's got Asperger's. I mean, it's not to say it's a bad thing, but he just can't read a room. It allows him to concentrate on the X's and O's of football probably better. But as far as coaching, he sucked. Let's be honest. So it was terrible. We know how this panel felt about Eberflus going into last year, the start of last year, right? That's a whole season ago at this point. All I'll say is that I'm so glad that we've moved on from that and that Caleb Williams is a Chicago Bear. Wouldn't expect anything else to come of this. If they start losing games early and often, obviously that article is going to rear its ugly head, but hopefully kid's strong enough to move on past that. So,
And going back to like last year when Jim Harbaugh was, as everyone knows, I was pounding the fucking table for Jim Harbaugh. The only thing better than Jim Harbaugh is a better version of him, which is Ben Johnson. And I'm actually glad that everything worked out the way that it did. If that, I'll get to that later on in the show. If that fucking Hail Mary play didn't happen on a game after a bye week with a winning record, a 4-2 record, didn't happen on primetime football, we wouldn't be sitting here with Ben Johnson as our head coach. Potentially. Because if that game was won, the season might have changed. They might not have given up on Flus, and we might have won 9 games. And, you know, that might have been enough to keep Eberflus around, and then we lose Ben Johnson. And that would be the absolute worst scenario you can imagine. So I'm glad everything did happen the way that it happened. It was serendipitous as far as I'm concerned. So I can't complain about it. I'm just I'll talk about that later. But right now my focus is that I'm just pissed that this author, like you said, Carl, right now it's just the perfect timing for this to come out. The guy's trying to sell a book. And please, everyone, just take it as that. Don't allow your overly beaten Bears brain, your overly beaten Bears fandom to allow that to change any perspective on what's going on right now. Focus on now, focus on the goals of this team, focus on what we have as coaches, as players, and just remind yourself, every time you see one of those things pop up, it's all clickbait shit made for a guy trying to sell a book. And it just went full circle all the way around. And every single piece of clickbait that came out of it is because of a guy trying to sell a book. And realize that Caleb ultimately decided he was going to make it work here. And look what's happened. Go ahead.
I'd like to offer a different perspective. Now, I'll be the first to tell you I didn't read or see any of this, what you're talking about. I'm just going by what you told me. But from a father's point of view, would you not want your son to be in the best situation possible? And if you think that Chicago is not the best situation for your son, would you not want your son to go there? I mean, Archie Manning didn't. John Elway did it. So why would you not want your son, or why would you, not want your son to go elsewhere?
PJ, I trust that you haven't read the article. I just wanted to point out that Carl Williams did consult with Archie Manning. So it's very funny that you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, especially for those of us who are fathers, and no disrespect to those of you who are not. I'm just saying, as a father, I know I will want what's best for my child. And if I don't think that Chicago is best, I wouldn't want him to come here either.
And
So
also, wasn't there a part of the book that came out that that said, Poles said, hold on, before you make a decision, let's talk. Poles met with them, and then Caleb completely changed his mind and said, I can work with Chicago. I want to go to Chicago.
So J2K, just to be clear, the book is not out. The book comes out in September. So it's just one Disney article, ESPN.
Okay.
But that dude that
all right.
book did confirm that on CHGO.
Right.
I'm very in the dark with CHGO.
By the way, I'm sorry. I meant to go with CHGO. I told Tony Moy sent me the video. I was like, I would rather, I wouldn't even shit on them if they were on fire, much less piss on them. I didn't say that directly, but that's my current thought. And then I was like, fuck, damn it, Tony, I'm watching it now. I'm like, and now I'm pissed. But they did get into that, and it came full circle that he decided that he was going to make it work. Because, like I said earlier, if you can do it, well, I said this in the chat or in the members section with just PJ, like if you could become let's just take it to the max. You could become the Tom Brady of the Chicago Bears. You would be 10 times what Tom Brady is popular. He's famous. Everybody loves him or hates him. There's really no in between, really. But he wasn't a Chicago Bear, and anyone that is a Chicago Bear that has a career like a Walter, that has a GOAT style career as a Chicago Bear, they have become immortalized within the fandom. Like they can go, and we've never had a quarterback. And PJ and I talked about this in the members content that we made for you earlier, that it used to be all about the running game and the defense, in the history of the NFL and the history of the Bears. So, like PJ himself never really focused on quarterback. Whereas my whole life, I was always focusing on the quarterback. Like I wanted to draft Tom Brady. It's the 4th round, draft Tom. It's the 5th round, draft Tom. It's the 6th round. Well, what the fuck? Why not just draft a quarterback and try to develop him? And the league eventually developed into that, a quarterback league. And so we as fans, we want that piece of the league. We want the quarterback. This is why it's become so polarized recently, because no matter, even Mahomes has been dumbed down, and he's not the Mahomes that he was in his first 2 or 3 seasons. And PJ mentioned that in the members content. He doesn't have the weapons, but he's become more of the style has changed. So it's so cyclical that now we're in this realm that Caleb Williams, I mean, if he passes for 5,000 yards, that means the running game isn't that good. And if he passes for, 3,000 yards, it means the running game is good, and blah, 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 blah from there. And I lost my train of thought because I'm rambling. So I'm going to just give the mic to somebody else. Jesus. I'm sorry. What's up? What's up, Triple R?
What's up, Ravi?
Ravi, come up. Good to see you again, my friend. Okay, so I'll just keep rambling.
I didn't want to follow up on what PJ was what PJ was saying about I agree with PJ. You can't blame his father or the people, his family, and people who care about him. They're looking out for his best intentions and stuff. I know it's kind of a big deal, but I kind of don't want to make it a big deal in a way. I like where we ended up at, and even though we should have fired Eberflus a year earlier. We might have ended up with Cliff Kingsbury or something like that, and not Ben Johnson. So
Right.
I just like where we're at now.
Fair enough. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm not going to say I like where we're at, and y'all know why. But beyond that,
Oh, I had to do it. Sorry. You haven't been pulled in a while, Peach.
I was just pulled last week, bro. He said that every time he pulls me now. You haven't been pulled in a while. Well, I know it just last week, but you know, I've been pulled out.
I don't think I pulled you. It wasn't me.
Well, anyway.
Hey, wasn't me, PJ.
But Ben Johnson, I do like him as our head coach. I do. And I was, as you guys know, I was optimistic or skeptical about him being our head coach. But because I was worried about whether or not he'd be able to be a good leader. And what he's shown since he's been here is good leadership qualities. I haven't seen it on the field, of course, because, you know, we haven't played no games. But from what I've seen of him and what I've heard about him, he is showing good leadership skills. And that's what I wanted out of our head coach, a good leadership. Of course, one who can lead a team as well as come up with good plays to win. But yeah, so I'm good with him being our head coach. And I'm so far happy that he is our head coach.
All right, so I'm done with my rant. I'm glad that Caleb decided ultimately to go, you know what, I'm going to make it work here, because he realized that if he did, and it would work out for himself, he found his way in his draft path to the Bears. And I believe he's as happy as they can be right now, and anyone in his situation, including every other player on the team, because of everything we just talked about. So that was my rant about that, and I thank you for listening to me.
Okay.
That really
Good night, guys. Appreciate it.
have a good show, guys. We'll see you later. Let's get into the schedule now.
All right.
So, are you working on stuff, Carl? Do I need to pull anything up?
No, I just have the same old sheet, Google Sheet that we use. So I've got the ability to document the predictions for everyone on the panel as well as the chat, and we'll have a collective at the end. But we have to decide, I guess, collective or not. Is the chat going to be included in that? Because I think the collective needs to have an odd number of people, right? So right now there's four people on the panel. Fifth would be the chat, right? So that's the odd man out. But I don't know if we anticipate Foster to show up before the show ends.
Thing about Foster, you never know. You don't know what you don't know.
Well, let's just control what we can control, I guess, and go from there. So I've got it all ready to start documenting what we think, who wins what, when. I can throw up the whole schedule if you'd like that.
Well, I was hoping to do a chat.
Yeah, I can
record prediction, but now
like,
we're down one person, which could break a tie.
The chat could break the tie.
Yeah. So let's have. If the chat has to break, how should we do this now? Down one person. Should we have the chat also be included in their own? So we put up every game for the chat to make a poll on. If we need the poll, we use it for ourselves, and then we continue to use whatever the chat says as the chat poll for the record prediction. I'm curious because
I don't think that we should pick and choose if we should use the chat to tie or to break a tie in a certain situation, right? It should just be all or nothing. I would like the idea of just having the chat be completely separate.
Me too.
And having the panel determine, this is what we think, and then have the collective based on the panel, and the chat could be kind of compared to that. But
a lifeline.
The issue right now is that we have an even panel. So
True.
why don't we just drive to Foster's house? PJ, you can record yourself driving like you did with Walmart, but it's Foster.
Well, I could do that too, but it would take me 12 hours, and I might run into a garage hanger that takes up my roof of my truck.
I think Carl lives the closest to him. So Carl, slide by and pick up Foster.
I
Switch over to your phone, Carl.
No,
Drive
I will ask Paul from Bearsky Film to pick him up for us. Paul is definitely the closest, right? So I've been told.
Yeah, Paul is like, Paul, go check on Foster. Is he okay?
Paulie! Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So, do you have the schedule?
What's up, Atmos?
I just have this Google sheet. I mean, if you can find a way to share something, there's copious amounts of people who have put a nice graphic together on Twitter. It would be nice to credit someone like that.
And I could just do this. We could just make it really dumb.
Yeah, you could do that. Boy, oh boy, the Bears have not released a nice picture of the schedule to share, in my opinion.
Albo had one last night.
Yeah, why don't we just do that? I like of the Bears. Aldo's is nice. That's not the Bears though.
I don't know where he got it from, but the one he did, he had all the home games in white, the away games in
Yeah, let's just
orange.
use the Barroom Network because Aldo makes fantastic content, right? Hopefully, it's kind of like say his name 3 times and he shows up.
He wouldn't care if we use it anyways.
Absolutely not, and it's very easy to follow. I think his initial one was messed up, so it's at Lions home, at Raiders bye week, at Skins. Lou Canellis was talking about this Wednesday morning, and I didn't believe it, but there's like this long stretch of games that are on the road. Yeah, let's just use Aldo's. This one looks good. I guess my quabble here is, would you be able to share it from your end, Shorty?
Is it Aldo's Twitter?
Yeah, Barroom Network. Oh, Adams works as well. Adams offering, but it's just something for the chat to kind of follow along, right? I like Aldo's. I haven't seen Adams though.
I saw Adams yesterday.
It's getting to the point where I'm going to need a larger pay from BCP to afford a third monitor because I keep finding myself in these situations.
Would 10 cents a month work?
No, that's where I'm at right now. 11 cents should cover it.
Okay, I'll make it 12.
13 cents, you got a deal.
I'd make it 12.50, but I can't. Okay, you're right. 13's fine. 13 cents.
Hold on. How can you do 12.50? 12.5 cents?
Well, that's the thing. I wanted to offer you 12.5 cents, but I can't. So since you just came
all right,
up with
9
15,
cents, and I will not go a
cents.
penny higher.
No, so now you're less than 10 cents.
12.5 cents. You get paid every 2 days.
Every 2 days.
Would that be good? That would not be good money at all, but I mean, that would add up quick. It's kind of like the old saying, would you rather have $1 million or a penny a day and double it every day or something like that? You definitely take the penny and double it, by the way. Half cents are worth money.
What?
Cliff, would
You would take the penny?
You'd have 24 cents.
No, listen. A penny a day, but that doubles every day, right? So you got 1 penny, then 2 pennies, then 4 pennies, then 8 pennies. Over time, as long as you're not going to die soon, like PJ or Shorty, you're going to get a lot of money. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I had to.
But I'm
30
saying,
days?
though, with that $1 million, I just invest that and I can still make even more money. So
But
penny a day?
you'd be tempted to put it all on red, and then you'd lose it, and then you have to gamble the house away to get it back. You know what I'm saying?
Carl must don't know who he talking to. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I'm not. Yeah, sorry.
This
I
guy
actually
will not
feel
be
bad.
gambling on nothing.
PJ, is that a bet?
So yeah, what Carl's saying is a penny a day is 10 million in a month
Yeah.
instead of 1 million. Penny
That was
doubled,
great.
1 penny, 2 penny, 4 penny, 8
Somebody
penny.
pulled out the calculator here.
The last few days ends up being just ridiculous because it's doubling.
Okay.
Somebody got to show me that one in a written form.
Really? Just
1 penny, 2 pennies.
every day it doubles.
1 penny, 2 pennies, 4 pennies.
Well,
8
well,
pennies.
think of it as a
That's 4
dollar.
days right there.
Think of it as a dollar. Like that should hopefully get you there a lot faster, right? $1,
But a penny's not
$2,
going to give me the
$4.
10 million in 1 month.
But it
Yeah,
doubles.
well.
It's not exponential, but it doubles. Like it's crazy.
Let me get out the
Where am I looking?
Adam says, "Been there." Hold, like I just need a third screen. Yeah, Alex is my name-o. Very, very clutch.
I can't find Aldo's.
Hold on.
It's on his Twitter.
Hold on.
It's on the bar on
Bob-
Twitter.
On the bar. I can't find it.
Just hold on. Look at the private chat.
If only you guys knew a graphic designer who could make one for you.
Yeah,
you work
JQK could fit in just fine there.
All right, here we go. That works. Let me just put that behind.
So, for the record, little donation from Chad Speaker, and by little I mean it's $2. Like you know my stance on that, Chad. But thank you very much, Chad. We appreciate the donation very, very much.
What? No super chats?
Thank you, Chad.
What? No super chats?
Don't know why you're repeating yourself.
For those of you who do make the super chat donations, truly thank you. Appreciate every little bit. Even though one man, I say little, but $2 is $2. At the end of the day, I appreciate it.
What if we did a stream where we only accepted donations where they were doubled? So now we couldn't accept a donation until it was $4, and then $8, and then $16.
Carl is trying to pimp y'all. I'm just going to put it out there.
No. YouTube would never allow that
Trying
to
to
happen.
pimp?
Yes.
YouTube wants their money. Okay, so this is the barroom.
Yeah, courtesy of Aldo Gandhi at the Barroom Network. Thank you very much.
Let's get it.
Unfortunately, the Twitter, J2K made a comment about creating the graphics for the schedule. I mean, that would just get recirculated and rebranded, and it's nasty work, J2K. So that would, if you could do it quickly, by all means. But I hate seeing everyone steal everyone's content yesterday. It's just so nasty.
No, he would have it explicitly for us, so that they would have to go to our video.
What I'm saying is, for the video only. If it didn't make Twitter or anything else, that would probably be a good idea.
Twitter. Yeah,
Twitter's terrible. Like I saw.
Look what we just did. We just
VFRs
hired a graphic designer. Look at that. Welcome aboard, J2K.
Right. $0 down, $0 a month. Hired.
We
can work our way to a penny.
And if you take that penny a day and double it.
I can't believe that doesn't make sense. That's why I keep bringing it up. Like, it's ludicrous money.
Okay, so week 1, Monday Night Football, Vikings. I'm curious to know what we're going to come up with for this. I should make a...
I definitely think that the prediction should be made in order. Whoever goes first and then so on and so forth. So
I'm going to let PJ go first. I'm going to go last every time.
Why you always get to go last, bro?
So I can piggyback off of what you're saying.
Or we could do like a snake where it goes first to last.
I don't want to look dumb. I want to follow what you're saying. Yeah.
All right. Okay, week 1, and we're home. J.J. McCarthy. Vikings defense. Ben not having his guys up to speed yet. I'm going to go with an L on this one.
You want to explain why?
I just did.
Oh, okay. Next.
No, we should go week by week. So whoever wants to go next, but not next game.
Yeah, you're next, right?
You want me to go next? Okay,
yeah.
Down the panel. Understood. Got it. I think it's a win. Quite simply, I already shared my thoughts on this on Twitter. I just think J.J. McCarthy's first game as a rookie on the road, I would hope it's a hostile environment. I would make sure of that myself if I could get into that stadium for less than $500 a ticket, but I'll call it a win week 1 against the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to call it a win too, and I read a really cool stat about Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores' defense. So Brian Flores, in the last 2 years that he's been a defensive coordinator, he's only allowed 30 or more points in 7 games. Of those 7 games, 4 of them were Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has scored over 30 points every time he's faced Minnesota's defense. And that's a pretty good defense. Defensive coordinator. So I think this is going to be a W, and this is going to be the next first 4 games. I think there's going to be this overall theme that teams won't know what Ben Johnson's doing just because they can watch the Detroit Lions, but it's not going to be the Detroit Lions. It's going to be a whole different playbook concepts built around the players we have. So I'm going to call it a W. Plus JJ McCarthy, I actually really like him as a young quarterback, but you're talking about his first professional game, injured all season, didn't get the reps. I call it a dub.
Okay, I'm just setting up the poll for chat.
No, I'm sorry. I can handle that. I got that.
Oh, I just made it, so
Yeah.
you can get the rest.
Wait, I don't understand.
What?
I have it live.
Oh, you do.
Mr. Adam, thank you. Almost forgot. You saved our skins. I will try and stay on top of that before we progress. So.
Okay.
By the way, I'm not voting in the polls, so my opinion is not going to sway what the chat has to say.
Yeah, me either. Okay, so we're not going to vote in the polls. The polls are for chat to vote in.
And then I'm hiding the poll for myself so that it doesn't have any impact on what I think, even though I've already documented what I think last night.
Okay.
All right, Shorty.
Win. And here's why. They've got a rookie quarterback who hasn't started. He looked good in preseason last year. Didn't play a game because he blew out his knee. Now he's going to come in game one against a quarterback who has played a year already, has been through the ups and downs, and has a new fired up coaching staff. I think this is a win. And if this was, let's just say, Sam Darnold, I'm not sure that I would say it's a win, but I'm going to say it's a win because of JJ McCarthy.
Okay. Are we closing the chat after we move on to the second?
Yeah.
Closing the poll?
I think once Shorty is done, we have to do that. So keep that in mind, guys. Just try and vote fast. This poll is going to go up a lot sooner, though. So.
Okay.
All right. The next one is week 2, September 14th. It's a road game against the Detroit Lions. I still see the Bears trying to find their footing, new head coach, still trying to, although it's a revenge game, I think that Detroit will win this one. We will lose, probably a close game. But yes, I'm going with another L.
Yeah, same here. I think that Detroit's going to be too hostile of an environment. If you guys have remembered or listened to me talk about the Lions in 2025 and what I think they will do, I think the brain drain is too much. And in the long run, I do think that the Lions could finish 4th in the NFC North. But early on, they'll be fired up. I would love to know how much caffeine Dan Campbell will consume before this game to beat his good old friend Ben Johnson. And again, the defense is normally ahead of the offense. I don't know if Aiden Hutchinson will be healthy, but everyone else, those third stringers, fourth stringers, practice squad guys the Lions had in the playoff game against the Redskins, hopefully they'll have the rest of their starters for the Lions' sake, at least for Artur's sake, whoever you want to say. I've got the Bears taking a loss in week 2 in Detroit.
So I got another win, back-to-back wins for me. I think that we've got like so much of Detroit's coaching staff over here that we're just going to know far too much about the players and maybe not necessarily the scheme, because I'm sure the scheme will be different, but we know so much about the players that I think we've got too much inside information, and I think they're going to have their own growing pains with their new coaches and new scheme. So yeah, I'll call this a W. Also, who's rushing the quarterback for Detroit? I mean,
Lee McNeil.
I didn't. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it doesn't. Their defensive line doesn't necessarily scare me as far as the pass rush is concerned, and our improved offensive line, I think, really shows up.
I'm going win. I don't see how the Lions are going to recover so quickly from the loss of all their coordinators. I just don't. And they're going to catch us at a time when, in my opinion, I've always thought that it's either going to go one of two ways. A new coaching staff is either they're going to lose their first few games because everyone's going to, be on top of them, or they're going to win those games because like they can't account for what that new they have no film of what the new team is going to present to them to go off of.
We need a tiebreaker.
So Carl has on this. Carl has win.
No, he has lost. Me and Carl and I have lost, and you and J2K has win.
I wouldn't worry about the tiebreaker too much right now either. I mean, maybe we can wait till Foster gives his official prediction to help break that. I think that might be the smart thing to do.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Let me end the poll here with the chat then. I guess I'll try and read off what...
Poll is closing if you haven't got your vote in, guys.
I'll read off what the results are so the audio listeners know. It would appear that the chat thinks that the Lions game will end in a win for the Bears.
I got to pee. I'll be right back.
Right, PJ.
Okay. Week number 3. It's a home game. September 21st against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm thinking the Bears are beginning to find their footing. It's a home game, so they're feeling confident, and this would be, according to me, our first win of the season. So win week 3, September 21st. Carl.
I've got the Bears taking a loss here, and just cliff notes. It's going to be an Eberflus swan song. I mean, Eberflus, we know, especially according to this report today, terrible head coach. As a defensive coordinator, I've always rated him highly, and I think that, again, a situation where the defense is ahead of the offense, the Bears, there was that statistic last year, right? And I know that the Lions, the brain drain is going to impact them, but there were so many teams that had a terrible, I think the teams that played the Lions the following week, they had like an overwhelming majority of losses. So I think that's something that could happen to the Bears. I doubt it. But all in all, I think that the Bears lose against the Cowboys. Again, Eberflus, maybe the best defensive performance as a defensive coordinator for the rest of his career comes against the Bears. And again, all downhill from there for the Cowboys and Eberflus. But in that specific game, I've got the Bears taking a loss.
If this game was played in Dallas, I would give this a loss because I think this is going to be a very, very close game. And I think that the Bears players, know enough about Eberflus, and I think there's enough players on our team that actually really, really want to beat Eberflus because I think they weren't happy with him. So I'm going to call this a win. A close game. I could see this going either way, and for me, it's just home field advantage being the tiebreaker.
I agree with you. So just to recap really quick, the last Bears at Lions, Carl, you had a loss, right?
That's correct.
I had J2K had a win. I had a win. We need Foster for that tiebreaker. Did you get Chet's?
Yeah, it was a win for week 2.
Okay, and week 1 was what was Chet's? Sorry,
they had a win as well. Just want to
Okay.
shout out Minister Charles Johnson. That's hilarious.
What did he say?
He said, "Carl, you're starting to sound like an OSU, Ohio State University fan. Come on, bro."
Okay, so we're on the Cowboys, right?
Correct.
I've got this as a win. And for a lot of the reasons, wait, where's my piece of paper that says what J2K? There you go. There we go. Everything J2K said. I just think that we historically play well against the Cowboys, and well, especially in Dallas, but at home in the right circumstances, we win. I think we win this game. I think that they're going to still be trying to figure us out, and we already know them per se. Maybe not, but I see that as a win. My God, am I already at? I'm at 3-0 already. Jesus, I wasn't going to do this to myself. Okay. There's like so many people going, you're gonna predict a 12+ wins. You're like, why not? I'm gonna go 4 wins.
That's why I'm over here being quiet, because I'm just letting you pick all these wins. I'm like, this guy. Oh, I'm only going to pick the Bears to win 6 games this year.
I just hope it doesn't get to the point where Shorty gets mad, reads that book. There's a little bit more to Caleb Williams not wanting to go to the Bears and wanting to go to the Vikings. The Bears start 1-3. With spoiler alert. How is Shorty going to handle this?
I'm backed up 3 books that I bought already to read, so I'm definitely not buying that shitty ass book.
All right.
Can I change some of these? Can I?
No, you can't.
Okay. All right.
Who reads
Imagine
books? I got
if the
3
Bears
books
said
I gotta
that.
read.
Can you imagine if the Bears, they like submitted something to the league? They're like, hey, we just want to replay that one Hail Mary. Can we do that, please? It's not how it works, man.
Moving on to week number 4. Week number 4, we find September 28th, a road game against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Bears will now be on a 2-game winning streak. So I'm predicting a win. Guys are still unsettled with the system, so they're still adjusting, but squeak out a win here. Raiders might be lost still, although I think Pete Carroll's a good head coach. But that offense that Chip Kelly runs, they probably won't be hitting their stride yet. So I predict a win here. Week number 4, September 28th in Las Vegas.
Well, I'll say this for Mr. Good Old Adam Mason, who I think is going to be at the game. I hope he's at the game, right? And we all know how Adam Mason feels about Ashton Genty, but I hope everyone also knows how I feel about Kenneth Grant. I think that the Bears having maybe a porous run defense this year will show itself, and I think that week 4 against the Chicago Bears could be the peak of Ashton Genty's career. I think that the Bears offense by week 4 should be starting to take stride, but I've just got a bad feeling about this one. I've got the Bears taking a loss.
Yeah, this game's tricky. I think the Raiders actually have improved a lot this offseason. I like the direction, but I still question whether they have the defense. I think their offense by this point in time will actually come around. It's a West Coast road game, so that's a little bit of a travel. I think this game's going to be far closer than a lot of people are predicting, just because I think a lot of people are predicting the Raiders to not be very good or be as bad as they were last year. I think they're a better team, but I think we squeezed out a win, and that's given me 4-0 to start the season.
Ooh. Okay, don't be like Shorty.
I might be this year. I wasn't those other years. The other years, like Dan's like 3 out of the 4 of us said we would have a winning season. J2K's the 4th.
I got this as a loss.
What?
Yep.
You just try to even it out. That's all.
No. This was my second rant. Okay. So I'm going to stand up.
Dang.
I'm going to make this an official rant.
Can you do your rant during the bye week?
This is part of my rant. Last year, we're 4-2. We have a bye week. What happens? We go to Washington. We play Washington on the road. We lose on a Hail Mary. It derails our season. Washington, Oh, it makes their season. They go on to win from there. We go on to lose from there. What happened the year before that? We played at Washington and lost. What happened the year before that? We played at Washington and lost. Remember the 3 goal line stance game? And all it took was one fucking touchdown from the goal line, but the Bears couldn't do it under Eberflus because they kept going fucking shotgun handoff on a 4th and fucking goal. Where after that loss last year, that I mean, for fuck's sake, everyone knows. Everyone in the NFL world, all the Bears fans, all the Commanders fans especially, everyone else from there down knows that that's the fucking game that derailed our season and propelled Jaden Daniels into Rookie of the Year. And they have the fucking audacity, after all of the previous seasons of us playing in Washington and having shitty games and fucking games we should have won, they have the fucking audacity to not. By the way, what was last week? What was last year? Thursday Night Football against Washington? It was a primetime game.
It was Sunday. It was the afternoon slot, like 3:30.
Okay, thank you. So now they put us in real prime time on Monday Night Football. And they're going to have us go to Washington again after a bye week. Like, how fucking diabolical is the NFL? You can't just, I don't know, considering we just played there the last 3 years in a row, flip the script and bring it to Chicago to just give us a little tiny bit of advantage. This game right here is the game of this. This is the pivotal game of the season for the Bears again, just like it was last year. And it just infuriates me that they're doing it again. Why not bring it to Soldier Field this time? Why not? Considering we played there however many years in a row on the road. And this just, why? Why?
Well, you know why the Bears couldn't play.
They're favoring the fucking Commanders. They want Jaden Daniels to be the next blah, blah, blah. So they're going to give him the advantage again. I'm done. You can take me off the mic.
Well, you know why they couldn't make it the Washington game a home game, because we have a home game against the Saints. So
they could have flipped them.
Okay. All right. So what was your prediction for the Raiders game there?
Yeah, that's why I'm getting confused. I thought we were talking about the Raiders, not the Redskins.
Oh, we were talking about the Raiders?
Huh.
I've already moved on to
Can't make this up.
Oh, the Raiders is a win. Yeah.
Whew.
Jesus Christ. I had a pre-rant, huh?
I told you wait till the bye week.
I wasn't happy with that rant, so let me just revise it next time when we get to the actual Commanders game.
I literally told him wait till the bye week.
I wasn't listening to you. You know why? Because I'm trying to type in all of the information on the side for everyone's predictions.
Right.
And I got ahead of myself.
All right.
So Dan, you're 4-0?
Yes.
Or were
He's
you?
4-0.
I thought you said Raiders a loss.
Oh, at the Raiders, that's a loss.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Raiders is a
Originally,
loss.
I think you said Raiders lost, and you did your rant and then said a win. But yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, actually, can we talk about the bye week? I think that's an interesting topic.
Before we get to the bye week, let me give a special shout out. I have a nephew who's actually watching. He's a Raiders fan, so he sent me a text about our prediction. But he doesn't get in chat. That's not his things. But my man, appreciate you watching. Thank you. Love you, man.
That's awesome. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you.
Okay, the bye week. Bye week. I think during my thoughts on the bye week is it's a good time for Ben to catch up. According to my prediction, we're at 2-2 right now. He's catching up, trying to ground his team, stabilize the ship a little bit. Although, according to my predictions, we've been on a 2-game winning streak. So I think bye week is a little bit early for me, but he'll use this time to take a breath and settle his team. Carl.
I despise a week 5 bye week. I think that you'd want a bye week like a month before the playoffs if that's what you're thinking about. I think it's literally probably the worst possible time. It's just way too early. It's worthless. And I think you might start to see it be an issue. We're going to talk about the week 8, week 9 matchups. Like that's literally hell. And you'd love a bye week after that. But no, you get the Giants. Hopefully that's a bye week, a pseudo bye week. But it's just the worst possible time for it. I have nothing else to say on it.
Yes, I read a stat that said that week 12 bye week statistically has the most playoff teams that have come out of that. However, I think there's a possibility of this, that because teams don't know what Ben Johnson's going to run, what the playbook's going to be, those first 4 games, teams are a bit on their heels. Once they've got 4 games of film to watch, they can start to figure out, okay, this is what the playbook is, and this is the rules and assignments and the keys that they're leaning on. But having that week 5 bye week gives Ben a chance to create counters off of the playbook that he's already shown in those first 4 weeks. And if that's the case and it's done well, week 6, 7, 8, 9 might be just as much of a struggle for teams because now they're not seeing the playbook they thought they did in the first 4 weeks. So it might be beneficial. Statistically, it normally isn't.
And I've got this graphic that Tom Pelissero retweeted it, but essentially it's going to be hard to see this. Shorty, can I have you remove, or can we do this? Here. If I do this, you can see the grid, right? So as far as that's an interesting stat, J2K. The teams that have the week 12 bye week are the Denver Broncos, the Chargers, the Miami Dolphins, and the Washington Redskins. So again, probably 3 playoff teams right there that are going to end up having a bye week. So again, totally case in point here.
To my point. To my premature rant. Yes. Can I rant now? Is it time?
You already ran it, bro.
Okay. So loss.
A loss during the bye week?
After the bye week. Fucking loss. Fucking the Commanders game is a loss.
We're talking about the bye week, man.
How can we talk about a bye week?
This guy's
Talk
not
about
even paying
winner or
attention to the
loss.
show.
Are you kidding me over here?
See, that's why you get pulled, Shorty. You don't even pay attention to your own show, man. What's going on, man? Golly, this guy ain't not even paying attention to what's happening on the show. We're talking about the bye week. Now we're about to talk about the Washington Commanders.
Redskins.
I'm half paying attention because I'm trying to type up our are you keeping record of this then, Carl?
Absolutely, I am. Absolutely. So
okay, you've got
you
everyone.
do not have to worry with that. I will get you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll stop focusing on that, and you can focus on that. You're getting the chat and everyone else, right?
For the record, I already have a chat poll active for the Redskins match. So whenever PJ wants to take it away with the Redskins, but absolutely, I'm documenting everything. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pay attention now. Sorry.
All right. Week number 6, October the 13th. My lovely sister's birthday. It's a Monday night game after a bye week in Washington. History repeats itself. Caleb did not have a good game last year against Washington. He started off slow, man. It was a bad.
He had a comeback, right? Like he did engineer a comeback.
Fourth quarter.
Two comebacks because of the fucking fumble.
He had to come back in the fourth quarter, but I think this is another L for us. So according to me, we would be standing at 2-3 right now. So yes, I have this as a loss. Carl.
I think that a guy like Luther Burden might not be fully integrated even after the bye week, and I think earlier in the season we're going to see a little bit more of Olamide Zacchaeus. Talk about history repeats itself. I've got this weird feeling that he's going to be a sleeper agent for the Bears, or against the Bears for the Redskins. Something silly's going to happen. It's going to be another one of these, like, how the hell did this happen type game. I do think that the Bears offense, again, week 4 I said they will be trending up. What JGK said, after the bye week, hopefully Ben Johnson can start to ratchet things up. But again, Bears this season, I anticipate a little bit more of a porous run defense. Something with Zacchaeus will be the deciding factor, and I've got the Bears taking another loss.
So I think Washington has really improved this offseason. And I know last year they got lucky quite a bit, but I think good teams get lucky and they improved. I think this is actually a barn burner. I think there's going to be a ton of points scored in this game, and it's going to be back and forth the whole game. It'll come down to the very end, and I think Washington, being at home, takes the win and gives our Bears some fire to, with what I'm calling the first loss of the season, but gives them some fire to step up their game, but at the same time, looking really good on Monday night. Schwuddy?
I'm just looking at what Adam's saying here. The graphics are wrong. So November is the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd.
Do you know what I think Adam is trying to say? If we read between the lines, I think Adam wants us to use his graphic, which is excellent, by the way. I could share that with you as well if you'd like.
Let's do that, because if this is wrong, then I don't want to be.
Well, let's not trash on Barroom, but yeah, let's use Adam's graphic. Right? He was probably off a gummy. These things happen. I understand, although it's fine. It's fine. Oh, Adam says that his graphic doesn't have the dates on it. I still think we should use Adam's graphics, but whatever you want to do, Shorty.
So the 10th is actually the 9th, and the 11th, the November dates are wrong. So it actually goes, what did he say?
November dates are wrong? Is that what he said?
Yeah. So it actually goes 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd. So week 10 is 11-9. Week 11 is the 16th. And week 12 is the 23rd. I feel like I'm borrowing graphics from fucking Chat Sports right now. Love you all, though. Okay, so moving on. Is it my turn?
I think it's your turn, Shorty, to tell us what your prediction against the Redskins game is.
I just want to add that I believe that there is a wholehearted, literal conspiracy against the Bears to ever have a meaningful, like, PJ, close your ears. Like, because we talked about this in the pre-show, that he's always been more of a running game, defensive-minded guy, and that comes from the history of the game. It comes from growing up that way, and it always being that way until it literally shifted gears. I mean, a handful of years ago to the quarterback. So I understand, but when you're talking about right now, I literally believe that they literally designed that game to suppress any possibility of Caleb Williams having a, let's say they're 4-0. Okay, and then they have a bye when they shouldn't have a bye because it's way too fucking early to have a bye. But they gave it to the Bears there, and now we're gonna go marching into Washington for the 4th or 3rd straight year, and never having played a fucking single game in Soldier Field against them in that time span. But we're gonna go there again, on prime time this time. Like, this just pisses me off. This game. It so infuriates me because it's like I feel like the league is setting, like they're just going, yeah, well, overcome it, Bears, and we will. And I would like to predict this to be a win, but I can't in my mind because I feel like we're getting set up to be fucked. Because no matter what's going to happen in that game, they're going to have the refs. They're going to get all the calls. it could be a great game, but look at all the calls, and we will lose that game no matter how hard we tried or no matter how much we should have won it, just like the last time, and we're going to lose that game because they want Jaden Daniels to be the next darling of the NFL, and they're gonna do everything in their possible power to make that happen. So that's a loss for me. Fuck.
Okay. October 19th.
Is that against the Redskins? Fuck the Redskins. Can I talk about the Redskins again? The Cowboy or the Commanders / Redskins? No, I'm just kidding.
And for the record, the chat has the Bears beating the Redskins, as well as every other game up to this point. The chat has the Bears at 5-0, 6-0 with the bye, if you will. Just undefeated.
Wow.
Wouldn't expect it any other way.
You guys are awesome.
It's a good point.
Week 7, October 19th. Bears are at home against the New Orleans Saints, who has a new head coach and a new starting quarterback, possibly a rookie quarterback who was drafted in the second round, I believe. I have the Bears with a win here. And my guy Chase Young sitting on the New Orleans Saints bench wondering, why didn't I sign free agency with the Chicago Bears? With that being said, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, I am not against what the chat may think, what I think. My opinion on this game is that, again, the Bears' offense has been trajecting upwards. It's more so their defense and their porous run defense has gotten them to the point that I have them at, right? Against the Saints, it's not a problem. They will destroy the Saints, and it will be so bad. That little Tyler Shuck, I don't care about him. It could get to the point where they're talking about Tyson Bagent goes back on the plane with the Saints. That's how bad it could be. I think they obliterate the Saints at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just don't think there's enough talent on the team, so I think that's an easy win.
If this was at the Saints, I'd say loss. However, I have 2 losses in a row, and this is at home against the Saints. Although it is in the warm time of the season, I'm going win.
Ooh, we just try to make it a little bit dramatized there. Ooh.
Wait, can we talk about the Commanders again? Like that fucking game. Why would they do that to us?
For the audio listeners, I am ending the poll 100%. Every single one of the 18 votes win against the Saints. Bears are undefeated according to the chat.
Okay.
Wow, chat.
Are you done? Are you done there, Shorty?
Yeah.
Okay. Week number 8.
Week 8 against the fucking Commanders. Let me just tell you about this game.
Week 8 against the Commanders. It's going to be week 8 against the Baltimore Ravens. October 26th on the road. I think because it's again been having some growing pains, not hitting a stride yet, I predict a loss against the Baltimore Ravens on October 26th. Weekend.
Detective reasoning. Bears have a porous run defense. Derrick Henry just got a new deal. Lamar Jackson's mad about not getting the MVP. This is a nasty, nasty, ugly, disgusting game. Just as how the Bears destroyed the Saints, I don't think this game is very close. Ravens obliterate the Bears. Loss.
And this is not a primetime game, is it?
No.
Man. I find that interesting because I think both teams are going to be heavily talked about in the media. I've got the Bears right now at 5-1, but I think this is the game that we really see just how talented a perennial playoff team like the Ravens are. And it's a bit of a gut punch to the egos of the Bears that have been built up over the 5 wins that I've got them having right now. So I'm going to call this a loss.
So J2K, just while you brought that up, the game on Monday obviously is a primetime game, right? Mm-hmm. Starting with the Saints and all the way through up until the Philadelphia game, every single games week 7 through 12 are at noon on Sunday.
Interesting.
Shorty.
Loss. That's all I have to say. I don't.
Let's take a look at the chat, and for the first time tonight, the chat is predicting a loss with 20 votes, 90% loss.
Okay. All right, chat. All right.
Chat's 6-1 though. I'll take that.
Moving on to week number 9. If
Scroll,
I'm not
Scroll says I changed my mind. First loss is in Green Bay.
week number 9, I think it's November the 3rd, if I'm correct, instead of November 2nd. It's an away game against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is our second road game in a row. So I predict a loss. I don't think we are ready for back-to-back road games and can handle it. So a loss, November 3rd. If I'm not mistaken, am I correct? Is it November 3rd the actual game is?
The game is November 2nd, Sunday, November 2nd.
Oh, it is the 2nd. Okay. November 2nd. Yeah, loss.
Yeah, because week 10 he has 11-0. Scotch.
Okay.
Poor guy. Yeah, I've got the Bears taking a loss in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That offense is too high octane. That quarterback is for real. I love what they've done retaining their 2-star wide receivers. I don't care if you call it football, roster construction negligence. I don't care about any of that. I think it could be a fun game. I think the Bengals pull away at the end. Again, simply put, Bears take a loss back-to-back.
Yeah, I think that for me, that gut punch on week 8 versus Baltimore kind of hangs over their head going into Cincy. And I think Cincy's actually got a better team than their record showed last year.
I fully agree.
Yeah. So I'm calling it a loss, and it's kind of, I think this is when you start to see that young team, first year head coach, some players getting a little bit frustrated and showing that frustration with back-to-back losses. I think this is a real turning point for the season, as far as if we're a contender or a pretender. So now I've gone to 5-3.
And for the record, I don't want to tell anyone what the chat prediction is currently for the game against the Bengals, but it is tight. Please cast your votes.
This is a game that I try to think back to. I know this doesn't make a difference, but I always try to think back to previous games against teams, and like I said, we usually lose in New Orleans, no matter how bad they are. We usually lose in Houston, no matter how bad they are. We usually like the Giants are one of those teams that could go one way or the other. We usually always lose against the fucking Steelers, but the Bengals, we don't really play enough for me to have any. The last game I can remember against the Bengals was we won, didn't we? But before that, all I can think about is Cedric Benson torching our asses after we got rid of him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wanted to say, too, one of my most vivid memories was Chad Ochocinco putting the ball at Soldier Field at the pylon. That's way, way back. We never play the Bengals, man.
We played them 4 years ago.
I don't remember.
We won that game, I think. But we lost the last time before that, which I think was a Cedric Benson game, if I'm wrong. Correct me.
Yeah, you're wrong because we played them 4 years before that. So we play them every 4 years.
So 8 years ago.
Yeah. Cedric Benson did not play 8 years ago.
True. All right. I'm going to... Off of my gut right now? Yeah. I'm going to say that if we lose that game, so I don't even know what my record is because I stopped counting now because I couldn't pay attention to the show.
You're 4-3.
Okay, so thank you, Carl. I'm going to go I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go loss.
Okay, I ended the poll the second you gave your answer, and with 22 votes, 54% think that the Bears will win against the Bengals.
Wow. So chat's got one loss.
Hey, Jack hanging in there. That's all.
Hey, I love you, chat. Bring me back. Bring me back. We're gonna win out from here on out.
All right. Moving on to week number 10.
Wait, I'm sorry, Shorty. You said that week, whatever it was, it's a win or a loss.
The Bengals is a loss.
Okay, thank you.
Week number 10. The Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, November the 9th. Chicago Bears are at home against the New York Football Giants. I'm predicting a win over Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, as well as Dart, whatever his first name is. Jackson Dart. So I predict a win over them. Although I do like their 3 defensive ends. They have 3 talented defensive ends in Carter, Thibodeau, and Burns. I don't know. Is the defense of Dexter Lawrence? Is he still there?
Yeah. They still have Sexy Dexy, and there's even one other defensive lineman they have that's kind of good. It was Leonard Williams that got shipped out to Seahawks.
Yeah. So their defense might be a little bit of a problem for us, but their offense, man, you get rid of Saquon Barkley and not good things happen. So a win for the Bears, week 10.
Yeah, I've got the Bears taking a win as well. Well said, PJ. I think that it's going to be a Bears offense versus the Giants defense. Which one wins? But I do think that by week 10 of the 2025 NFL season, the Chicago Bears offense with Ben Johnson is really going to be on its way up, and I do think that they handle business as usual against the Giants.
So I would normally have a win for this, but I've just got this weird suspicion that we are back-to-back losses on the road. We got the Giants at home. Everything sounds like it should be a win. And I think the Giants get scrappy. Their defense plays incredibly well. Players are getting a little frustrated because of the 2 losses. And the Giants sneak one out against us. I'm going with the loss, so I'm 5-4.
I'm going win. I don't think that I like what Notorious TBG. What's up, Notorious TBG? I'm doing it. I'm flying solo now, Peach.
It's like when you hit that high note, you be cracking me up.
By the way, is J2 D Zilla K like your alias J2K?
No, it's so incredibly close. It's interesting. I'm not sure who that is. I have a friend out there who calls me J2 Killa, which is actually kind of like a step towards that name. So yeah, it's got me very curious.
Brandon Pohl, thank you for joining us. I'm about to I think I'm going to align with you by the time this is all said and done, because I told myself I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid this year either. And thank you for joining us. I'm going to say this is a win, the Giants, because I just don't see how it's not a win. They're kind of starting over again.
We don't need to do a poll or anything, but just out of curiosity, which quarterback do you think the Bears face in week 10? I think it's Jackson Dart.
I think it's Russell Wilson. And that's the only reason why I think it could be a trap game, because now we're thinking about the Vikings at the Vikings after losing 2. I don't know. To me, I think we squeak out with a win, though.
Yeah. To answer your question, Carl, I'm thinking Jackson Dart as well, because their season probably be headed down the drain. So they're going to throw the rookie in by then.
Who do you think starts? I think Russell Wilson starts the season.
Well, yeah, I think he starts the season, but by week 10, I think
Yeah.
the rookie would be in there because the season's already over.
I don't know what their schedule looks like, but I give Russell Wilson like 3-4 games. Those New York Giants fans are going to be so frustrated with that quarterback. Russell Wilson, that is.
We'll see.
Okay, moving on to week number 11.
What's up, Kenny? Thanks for joining us.
Yes,
I
thank you.
think Kenny's been on the show many moons ago. That's Kenny I'm thinking of.
Okay, week number 11, November the 16th. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
November 16th. I predict it's a road game against the Vikings.
At noon on a Sunday.
At noon on a Sunday, I am predicting a loss. Still trying to find our way. A loss. Go ahead.
Still trying to find our way. Oh, lost. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah.
Well, week 11 is not week 1. There's one added one, but it's not week 1, right? JJ McCarthy at this point has had some experience under his belt, and I'm a Michigan fan. This is not about JJ McCarthy. This is all about Kevin O'Connell, the reigning head coach of the year. I think the Bears take a loss because whether it's JJ McCarthy, Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, these quarterbacks are finding a way to get the ball to their excellent receiving options. Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. I think it's a loss.
For me, after 3 losses, Ben Johnson finally rights the ship, gets into everybody's heads. Everybody kind of cools off, realizes that the season is really at hand with this division game, and this is going to become our first sweep. So I have a W.
Ooh.
I have a loss for everything that Carl said. I think JJ McCarthy is coming into his own now in this offense due to Kevin O'Connell. Come on, O'Connell. I mean, nothing. You can't say anything bad. The guy.
We haven't said a singular thing about the guy that they signed, PJ. That defense is not going to be bad either. These Vikings are going to be good.
Yeah, I have this as a loss. As much as I want to believe in Ben for beating division opponents, I don't know. At Minnesota, loss. By the way, the Washington Commanders, that's a loss. Did I talk about that yet?
No, you haven't. But just to interject quick, the chat I ended it quickly. I like to end it as soon as Shorty's done. But the chat has the Bears winning at Minnesota. 56% said it's a win.
Pretty close.
Wow. What is chat at right now?
Like 9-1.
Yeah.
I love you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Week 12. The Chicago Bears are at home.
Loss.
November 23rd. It's against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going with a victory. I think Pittsburgh and their lack of quarterbacking, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, if he shows up there or whatever, I think they're going to be lack of chemistry, lack of cohesiveness, and Ben got his guys hungry, and this might be the year that Mike Tomlin actually leaves Pittsburgh. So a loss. I'm sorry, a victory for the Bears, a loss for the Steelers.
Yeah, I've got the Bears handling business against the Steelers at home. It's a win. I can finally say this without, I've never insulted PJ, but I don't want PJ to feel that I offend him. But I can finally say this with confidence that the Steelers don't have a damn quarterback. If it's Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers, trade for Tyson Bagent, they will not have a quarterback, and the Bears they'll get a win. It'll be a good game, but it'll be a win for the Bears.
So I'm curious. This late in November at home, could this be a snow game, or is this too early for the likelihood of snow. What do
I
you
mean,
I
guys?
think it's too early.
J2K, my birthday is
Really?
November 14th, and I used to remember my birthday with snow. Recently, it's been bone dry, no snow. It might be
Okay.
crap weather, might be cold, but I doubt that there's
rainy. It might be rainy and cold.
Okay, all right. Well, what I'm thinking is that with Pittsburgh, I don't think they're going to have much of a passing game, but they have a good offensive line, and I did like them picking up Caleb Johnson, the running back, and they've got a good defense. So I think this is going to be some old school running the ball kind of a game. I think we've got enough firepower on offense where I think we can take the lead at some point, and we end up with a win.
Samo, Raging Oracle.
guys. I
Steve
dropped the
Phillips.
ball. Poll is up. The poll is up. Please cast your vote. Thank you, Adam.
I think Samuel, before we get to Shorty, Samuel did make the comment, Bears beat Mike Tomlin in what will be his first losing season. That's his opinion.
That's a nice prediction. That's a bold prediction, Samo. Again, I'm trying to search for the last Steelers win in my head. I'm going loss. It just seems to me like no matter how you break down whatever happened until this point, we lose to the Steelers.
Didn't Justin Fields beat the Steelers?
No.
No.
Carlos Santos missed a 65 yard field goal that hits the crossbar as time expires.
Okay. Yeah,
But
There was that Monday Night Football game that we got screwed, the Cassius Marsh game as well.
That's the game I'm talking about.
yeah,
Excellent.
we got
that. I think that was either Sunday or Monday Night Football. J2K, real quick, I'm sorry. What was your prediction?
a win.
Thank you.
So I'm at 7-4.
yeah. Let's just apples to oranges. That loss the last time we played the Steelers was because of Cassius. What's his name? Cassius Marsh.
Yes.
With they were doubling down on the taunting rule that year, and it was not a true taunting call. They haven't called one since like that.
I
And
was
yet,
just impressed with the fact that Carlos Santos, who always
Cairo,
Cairo Santos, who's barely make 50-yarders, actually attempted a 65-yarder and hit the crossbar. Straight down the middle, but hit the crossbar. So I was impressed. I actually watched that game on NFL Network just the other day, and I was like, man. And by the way, a certain quarterback looked pretty good that game.
very good.
Yeah. All right. So
You're talking about Caleb Williams, right? Oh, sorry, no, that was a Justin Fields game.
Oh yeah.
back when Darnell Mooney was worth his weight in something.
Yes. Yes.
Especially
Did you give us your prediction on Shorty?
loss.
Okay.
Especially if Aaron Rodgers goes there, it's definitely a loss. Like it's a loss. They'll find a way to beat us. They always do. The refs, whatever it'll take, the Steelers will beat us.
At home, the game is played at Soldier Field. You
Yeah,
can't take it back. You've already said loss, but I'm just surprised.
yeah, it's a loss.
Okay, moving into the day after Thanksgiving.
Loss.
We're talking November the 28th, if I'm not mistaken, if everything's right here. It's an away game, prime time on Amazon against the Philadelphia Super Bowl defending champs, Eagles. It's lost. I guess I didn't know. It's lost.
I can hear it now, PJ. You should have drafted Jalen Carter. You should have drafted him. It's a loss. It's a disgusting, awful loss. I'm not going to even finish the game. It's going to piss me off. Those terrible fans in Philadelphia, awful fans, probably the worst fans in the NFL. It's still a loss against the Eagles.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer game than that. I actually think it's going to be a pretty good game, exciting game, but I do think the Eagles will come out on top.
Loss. There's still a hole in a door somewhere in Illinois, in a condo I no longer own. I'm sure they didn't replace the door from a fucking Eagles loss. The playoffs, by the way, not the double dunk, which by the way was blocked. It wasn't. It was only double dunk because it was blocked. But the one before that with Donovan McNabb. Yeah. You remember that game? Yeah.
The Jerry Azuma game.
Yeah. Dick Duran.
If I was I jokingly say if I was alive to watch that game, I just didn't watch it. I would be so mad after a Jerry Azuma pick six. Oh, that pissed me off.
13-3 season. Home game, we lose to the fucking Eagles. Like, fuck the Eagles. That's a loss.
Okay. Moving on to week 14 in Lambeau Field, December 8th. Packers game. We just coming off a loss. We have a little bit longer of a practice week. I say loss.
My soul hurts.
Carl.
My answer is
Shit, fuck Green Bay. Shit, fuck Green Bay. Shit, fuck Green Bay.
Bears win. Caleb Williams might not ever lose at Lambeau Field. Bears win.
Yeah, I got a win here too, and I think this is going to be the beginning of the next divisional sweep.
Agreed. I got to win. We should have beat them twice last year, if not for a blocked fucking field goal. Like, come on. If you would have missed it, at least we would have had a better excuse than it was blocked. Caleb drove down, scored. We won that fucking game, and it drove down again, and we almost won that game, I should say, and it was blocked. Then the next week, the next time we played them, last game of the season, same thing happened. We won the game. I believe that this is Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Like, this is the coming out party that's going to shape the rest of this season. So win.
Okay. Week 15.
Pause for station identification.
Pausing because
Presented to you by Blue Chew.
You listen
Sorry,
to
I had to.
podcast on YouTube. Thank you for listening.
the date is not adding up for me. That's why I'm pausing, because I'm like, if Green Bay is on the 8th,
It's
7
on
days
December
later would be
7th, PJ. Green Bay is Sunday, December 7th.
It's December 7th.
The Browns is Sunday, December 14th.
Okay.
The Philadelphia game is November 28th. It's at 2 p.m. It's that Black Friday game, whatever. And then the Packers game at Green Bay and then the Browns game at Soldier Field are both played at noon.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so it's a home game, week 15, December 14th against the Browns. Quarterback of the Cleveland Browns.
Shedeur Sanders.
I mean, they've got a terrible room. They've got 4 different guys that could start. It's worse than the Giants.
Yeah, it's a bad room to be in my opinion. So I think they're battling between them and the Saints to see who can get Archie or Arch. So I say Bears with the win here, week 15.
Yep, I've got the Bears having another win, 2 in a row. Again, if you have 3, 4, does Cleveland have 5 quarterbacks, right? Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and they drafted Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. If you've got 5 guys, 5 Jags, you've got no one. Bears handle business. Browns need a quarterback desperately. They could have the worst record in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's got to be a win. It just, I'm really curious to see where the Browns are at week 15 and which quarterback is playing, and have the rest of the players given up, or is there any kind of light at the end of the tunnel or hope or anything? Yeah, just a terribly run organization, and it's kind of sad to see, to be honest. I remember the Browns having a legacy when I was younger that I just haven't ever seen since. So yeah, it's a W for us.
Karmic justice for Baker Mayfield, right? Which quarterback do you think that we face, J2K?
That's a good question. With so many vets in the room, I feel like it'd be a surprise if it was a rookie, because I tend to favor teams not going with rookies as early as possible. They didn't take like a top tier quarterback necessarily, or like a top 10 pick at quarterback. I'm very curious who's better, Shador or Gabriel. I mean, at that point, I mean, man, I don't know. I think it's a toss up between Gabriel or Shador, and they're trying to see if they've got something in one of those players. But I mean, it could kind of like tank their career if they're not careful with those guys.
So I think the Browns will have a really bad record, which would mean they have a high draft pick to spend on a quarterback, right? I think that they will realize that they cannot have Shador Sanders sit behind a high level draft pick, but they'll feel that Dylan Gabriel could. So I'll say, to answer my own question, I think that the Bears will face against Dylan Gabriel, and they might give Shador 1 or 2 games at the end of the year and try and trade him, but I think the Bears will beat up on Dylan Gabriel.
I'm over eating a bag of potato chips like it's popcorn, because I'm just like listening to you guys talk about this. Because I'm like, yeah, tell me more.
Where you can steal our answers, right?
Exactly. I think by the time we get to this game, it's Shador, and just kind of what you were saying, Carl. If they are the Browns that everyone knows as the Browns to be, at this point they'll be trying to figure out what they have in Shador before they try to figure out if they're going to use a pick on a quarterback next year. So I think we'll be playing him. That doesn't necessarily equate to a loss in my mind, other than it's a rookie playing on a bad team against a team coming off of a big win against the Packers after 3 losses in a row, in my mind. And that's definitely going to be a win. And by the way, J2K, I feel your sentiment about this team, because essentially this team is the Ravens. And the Ravens are, they've been historically one of the best teams in the league since they have left Cleveland. And they were forced to start their team all over again. And now they're even worse than they were before they originally even moved. So it's sad, because this team is a historic part of the NFL, and to see them constantly in the gutter as a fan base, as a fan of the NFL, it makes me sad. And that's why I rooted for the Lions so hard last year. I really wanted to see them win it, because when misery loves company, and when you can root for someone who's been just as miserable as you for so many years, you actually do gravitate towards that team, and you do want to root for them. So that being said, this is a win for me.
If I'm not mistaken, Cleveland, did they draft Mason Green?
Correct.
And he came in out of shape. Am I correct?
Correct.
No, he's just getting slandered. Like they're saying his body doesn't look like Aaron Donald because no one else does, right? Then they got a video of him throwing up, and the nasty Ohio media that watched Mason Graham beat their college team's butt for 4 straight years. Of course, they're going to slander the guy.
Okay.
There's too many hot wings. Upset.
I saw a video somewhere where it was Aaron Donald sitting down with DK Metcalf, and they asked DK Metcalf, "Do you think he can bench as much as Aaron Donald?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I can." And Aaron Donald's like, "Yeah, He said, well, how much you bench, Aaron? He's like 500. DJ looked at him like, ain't no way. Like 500 pounds you benching? Oh my goodness. All right, moving on to week 16. It's a home game. December 20th. It's a Saturday game. I say a victory. Bears win. Carl.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams could go his entire career without ever losing at Lambeau Field, but something tells me the Packers, with having a very easy schedule, the Lions at this point, the Packers could sweep the Lions. Like, the Lions will have been totally drained. I think that will help the Packers. They will have an inflated record with a terrible quarterback. And again, Saturday, primetime, something weird. I just don't like it. I don't like the vibe. I've got the Bears taking a loss. Again, Packers pushing for the playoffs. And in my opinion, the Bears at this point are not. So that'll be the difference, and the Packers will get the win in Week 16 against the Bears.
So this, I got as our second sweep on the division with our 10th win and confirmation that we're in the playoffs. We're getting the dub. Week 16.
Whoa. I also have this as a win. I think that Ben Johnson's going to own the fucking Packers from here on out. That's what I think. And damn right, rightfully so, we should. It's about time. So I got to win. Fuck the Packers.
Okay. Week.
Alrighty then.
I'm just trying to figure out what's your record right now, Shorty? On wins for the Bears.
What is it, Carl?
Shorty has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses.
What?
With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. So Shorty, after the Packers game, has the Bears at 8-7.
Okay.
Ha, you like that shit?
Yeah, you got me on that one. I thought you was at about 10 wins already.
And
Okay,
I've been slacking on the chat. I've been doing the polls, but the chat rather has the Bears beating the Packers. 94% say win, and that would mean that the Bears, up to this point, after the Packers game in Week 16, the Bears, according to the chat, only have 2 losses.
Wow.
Baltimore and Philly.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, week 17.
I love you, chat. You're awesome.
Bears is December 28th. It's an away game. And it's a Sunday night game, am I correct?
It's Sunday Night Football.
Okay, Sunday night football. Bears does not have a Thursday night game this year. Okay.
They won't have a Thursday Night Football game this year. It's the Black Friday game is the pseudo Thursday game.
Gotcha. I'm predicting a loss. I think San Francisco will be in playoff form, ready for their playoff, and needing this win to clinch their division. So they need it, so they will win it at home. Carl.
Brock Purdy is trying to earn generational money for his family. I think last year I predicted the Bears to go into the 49ers stadium and destroy them. They got destroyed. So history's not going to repeat itself twice with me. I do have the Bears taking a loss. I think the game could be close, but kind of same vibe as the Packers, right? 49ers will be clearly vying for high positioning in the NFC playoffs. The Bears will be thinking about their potential top 10 pick. So I've got the Bears taking a loss on Sunday Night Football. Game could get flexed out at that point, but they'll lose against the 49ers, in my opinion.
So I got to win. And I think the 49ers aren't quite the team that they once were. And they're fighting for a potential playoff opportunity, a wild card spot. And our Bears are on a roll. And they go into San Francisco and they show up and they look like a playoff team. The 49ers don't quite look like a playoff team. I'm not saying it's a blowout or anything like that, but I think the 49ers have come down to earth, and this is a point in the season when I think we could be rolling. So I'm going to call it a win.
I'm going to say everything J2K just said.
Surprise, surprise.
J2K, that's it. Yeah, never mind. You're just going to be related to being a guest. I can't have to make you the actual host. And
Chat, please cast your votes.
I think that we are. I think that the Niners are on the decline. I do not believe in Brock Purdy. I don't think he has a strong enough arm. I think that he is a little too tight in his mechanics, and I just don't. I don't see him as being a guy that can lift you out of a hole. And I don't have any confidence in Brock Purdy. So I think that at this point in the season, the Niners might be looking at another losing season, and not only that, we've just played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cold weather games, and we're going to be going to San Francisco. I think everyone's going to enjoy the warmer weather, and they're going to enjoy the spotlight after the 3 wins in a row we just had. I think we're going to kick their ass. I think that's a win.
PJ, before you start Week 18 against the Lions, this chat poll's pretty close. If you guys have a vote, I'd suggest casting it right now.
We are closing the vote in 1 minute, so get your votes in, guys. That's Week 17, Bears at the San Francisco 49ers.
PJ, do you think that we should do a chat poll for this question from Notorious TBG?
What's Adam's left?
Hey, yo!
Right.
I am closing the poll. The chat has spoken. The votes, they're pulling away. They've got the Bears beating the 49ers.
Wow.
Chat's 14-2 at this point.
The chat has us the first seed in the playoffs.
Yep.
Hey. Well, I read somewhere where they said that like when Ben Johnson took over for the play calling at Detroit, that he started off kind of slow, but towards the end of the year, he started coming along. So I was trying to utilize that with my picking here.
Yeah, and that I think that makes sense because he talks about he has talked about, well, this is not going to be the Lions offense. This is going to be the Bears offense. We're going to build this around the quarterback. This is going to take a little time. By week 1, they're not going to know all the plays that work. By week 17, they're going to know the plays that work. And there's going to be more creativeness coming from the offensive play caller and Ben Johnson. And everything's, I think at this point, is going to be rolling. At 14-2 is really bold from chat. I think that's, I would love to predict that.
I would wager it's going to end up being 15-2. So,
yeah.
Okay. Final game of the season. To be determined. It's going to be either
they're going to flex that to a Sunday night or something. Yeah,
a Sunday or a Saturday game against the Detroit Lions at home. Being at home puts me more in favor of us winning because Detroit might not like the cold. So I'm going against what I thought I would go, but I'm going to go with a victory for the Bears in Week 18.
got it.
a win. Okay.
Carl?
I have this being the battle for third place in the NFC North. Again, the brain drain from the Lions will totally tank them. I'm not calling this a blowout. It'll be an irrelevant game, perhaps, but I do have the Bears beating the Lions in Week 18.
So I think that at this point in the season, we have guaranteed our playoff spot, but We haven't necessarily gotten a first round bye. If that's available, that's one thing. Also, just the seed selection. So I do think there's still something to play for our Bears. Now the Lions, I think, are going to be on the edge of the playoffs, and this is going to be a must win. And I think they're going to be scrappy, and they're going to fight like hell, and they're still going to lose. And the Chicago Bears, for the first time in forever, sweep the division. 12-5 is their record.
Whoa! Wow. You sure you didn't take over?
Yeah, I'm that confident in this team this year.
That's my prediction. I have this as a win too. I think that you're right that either they're going to be out of it and they'll be trying to just beat us, but I don't think they can overcome us because it's at home, and we're going to take it back from the Lions like we always used to beat their ass at home, and this is a win. I realize I ended it with a 4-game winning streak, but that does
5.
Damn.
5-game
I give
winning
him a
streak
5-game
starting
winning streak,
at
too.
Lambeau
What?
Field. Shorty has predicted the Bears
Yeah.
to beat the Packers, beat the Browns, beat the Packers again, beat the 49ers on Sunday Night Football in San Francisco, and then go home and beat the Lions as well to end the season at 10-7. It's honestly a bit modest. It's a
But
bit
no.
modest from Shorty.
Just a couple of weeks ago, the Bears I'm not going to predict the Bears to win over 4 games.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And chat, I am ending the poll. 68% think that the Bears will beat the Lions in Week 18,
Hey.
bringing
Wasn't me, PJ. Wasn't me.
We've got to bring him off the edge. We've got to bring him off the edge at the end of the season.
Oh my god! Thank God Rick Gonzalez is not in here tonight because he was like totally like in the Sports Zone Chicago chat. He's like, "You're going to predict at least 10 wins. I know it." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm going 7 at the most." Yeah. Okay. 10-7 it is. Okay, so what's the overall? What is everyone's prediction? Mine is 10-7. What's PJ's?
We can configure this in real time. Give me just 1 second.
Greg saying, as a diehard Bears fan, I can tell you with 120% probability, where did that go? That the Bears will go undefeated this year, and Green Bay will be the first team in NFL history to get negative points. Dub Bears and fuck Green Bay. Well said, Greg. What's up, Moon? Thanks for joining us. What's up, Tony Moy and Patty Lara? Thanks for joining us. Also, Raging Oracle. Don't know if we've said hi to you yet, but can't believe I did it again. I picked 10 wins.
Raging Oracle is speaking the truth.
Gosh, sound like last year. It's because we do this to come up with an overall BCP record, and we'll post that. So we're going to do the chat record, and we're going to do the BCP record. We still have to get Foster's because it does matter.
Can you guys see this well enough?
Yeah.
So again, the chat collectively is predicting 15-2.
Oh my God.
I've got 7-10. J2K has 12-5. PJ has 8-9, and Shorty has 10-7. As far as the collective, though, we have to go game by game, right? So this is a win, a collective win, right?
Right.
Because we've got take this column out of it. Can I move this over one? No, it's because it's broken here. Let me do this. So again, the collective here. That's 3, right? So that's a win. This is 2, so we
Right.
can't deduct
So we need
anything from
Foster.
there.
Yeah.
This one is a win because we
Right.
have 3.
Yeah.
This one, we need Foster.
Yeah.
This one is a loss.
Yep.
This one is a sweep, a win.
Uh-huh.
This one is also a sweep, a loss. This one is a sweep, a loss. This one is tied.
Nope. This one's a win.
That's a win.
Saints.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Giants.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Excellent. We've got a collective loss here.
Right.
We have a collective win here.
Right.
We have a collective loss here.
Right.
A collective win here.
Correct.
A collective sweeping win. A
Correct.
collective win.
Correct. That's
We
a
need
tie.
Foster. And then there's a collective
wins.
win here. So if anything, we should call Foster and have Foster say, what are your predictions for these games? And that'll give us our answer. But we'd love to hear Foster's total thoughts, right?
So right now we're standing at 9-5, right?
9
That's
wins.
5 losses. So we don't know the game against the Lions in week 2. We
Right.
don't know the game in week 4 against the Raiders. And we don't know the game at the 49ers in week
So
17.
9-5 currently.
So we're missing 3 games.
Yeah. 9-5.
Wow. Chat is 15-2.
Man.
There it is. There
Wow,
it is.
guys.
I can pop this out into a PDF and make it look better, and we can post it on the internet or whatever. But
You guys in chat are nuts.
It's just that so many people are picking at different times, wins and losses. So I expected it to be high. I don't think not one person. Well, I stand corrected because there was one guy in chat who did say he expect us to win every game, but very few people would have Bears winning. Probably J2K, but very few people would have us winning 15 games. I'm sure.
And just to point out that every year the last few years that Shorty has made predictions and been high on those win columns, I've been very low. I think the first year I was 4-6 potential wins, and then I went 6-8. So me saying 12 wins isn't just me being a homer every single year. I'm very confident and very optimistic about this team. I hope everybody else kind of, cools their jets a little bit and we see how the season go, because I could be wrong, but I am very confident.
Yeah, I every year I've gone overboard, and I really thought I was going to be more reserved this time and actually have a losing record, but obviously you can't predict how the season goes. That we could lose to the fucking Commanders again and have it derail our season. Who knows? But the one thing that I think keeps us all grounded in this, at least the hope for a winning season, is the coaching staff and Ben Johnson. And that's the craziest part. We've talked about it a lot. That's the one thing that we all keep going back to, and it's hard not to deny what he's going to, what kind of multiplier Ben Johnson is going to be for this team as a head coach and play caller. Now, you can get into the head coach thing and say, we don't know what kind of head coach he is, but damn it, he's a good play caller, and people have been stealing his plays, and it's an exciting time. So for me to go 10-7 with that, I think is it shows I'm just trying to be reserved, because I could have easily gone 12 or 13 wins. I had to peel myself back a little bit, like the Bengals game. I could have predicted a win. I might have in the past.
Now, after preseason, we will be doing another prediction, because mine's going to really determine on how much our starters play during the preseason. Because if we do what we've been doing of not playing our starters during preseason, my prediction on wins will go down.
So, PJ, that's a really good point. We haven't talked about the preseason whatsoever. The 3 teams that the Bears will be playing in the preseason are the Dolphins, That says to be determined across the board, by the way. I have no idea where that's being played at. But they will be playing at home against the Bills. No, it says at home against the Dolphins, too. So first 2 preseason games, at home against the Dolphins, at home against the Bills, and then they will be traveling to Kansas City in the 3rd week.
All AFC games.
And some good teams like the Bills, the Chiefs. That's some good competition. So if you want to figure out what you have.
Yeah, the second game. Thank you.
The second game is a game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's against the Bills?
Yeah. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP.
I thought you just said it went Bills Dolphins.
No, Dolphins are the first game. The Bills are the second game. And for the record, PFF says that the Bills are not the underdog in any of their 17 games. They are favored currently in all 17 games. So that's going to be a good football team and should be a good barometer if you're going to actually take the preseason seriously. I know Matt Eberflus doesn't. So,
well, is Mitch Trubisky going to play most of that game?
You'd think that if it's their warm-up game, that's I'm so used to it being game 3. I'm so used to it being game 3, right? Game 3 was the game you played the first half. I think game 2 could be that game for the Bills this year, or for the NFL, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys.
Indeed.
You want to do something unusual and end the show at a reasonable time tonight? Because that'd be great for me.
Yeah, we can. I can get a nice graphic thrown up on the screen so that we can have a screenshot and I can send this over. It's PDF for now, but
Adam Mason, fuck it, Bears 20-0.
Why stop there? Man, with a 17-0 record, you would play 3 more games of 23-0.
Should we do a chat poll? What year will the Bears next lose a game? 2025, 2026, 2027? Jeez.
How many years before we have 5 losses? 2, 3, 4. Put that in a poll.
What do you guys think are going to be like the pitfalls of the season? Like I've said multiple times, I think that the Bears' run defense is going to be suspect for a long time. Hopefully they can figure it out. And on the flip side, I don't care about Kyle Monangai. I don't think that the Bears will have a run game. I think that their quarterback and their offense can overcome that in spurts. I just don't think that they'll have any sort of dominant run game. So
I don't know. I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking the running game will be improved this year. I think the concerns for me is the team actually catching on to the offense. That's my biggest concern. Them actually catching on to it to where it's working smoothly. I think it's going to take a while for that to happen.
Okay. I'm putting in my prediction for the next 15 years.
I would go with are we too overly aggressive? Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen are both very aggressive coordinators. And I think at some point in time in certain games, you're going to see that aggression bite us, catch us a little bit off guard. You might see a huge run or we blitz and they throw a pass and there's just nobody deep or something like that. Or Ben Johnson goes for it on 4th down and we don't make it, ends up becoming a deciding factor. So I would say over-aggression. But I agree with Cliff. I think that aggressive nature, I think Cliff's right. I think that's going to win us more games than lose us games. And that's why I do see a record within double-digit wins.
I agree. I love it. I love all the predictions. I wish Foster was here. We're still waiting for the final BCP prediction, but let's save that for when he comes back. This has been a fucking great show. I really appreciate all you guys' contributions to it. It's
Yes.
amazing. Chat, you're amazing with your 15-2 record. It's awesome. I would get to all you in chat, but I have to piss. So I'm just going to say, love you guys in chat. We'll see you guys again next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on BCP. And we'll end the show on a 1, a 2, a 3.
Bears.
Bear down.
Bears.
Bye bye.
Giddy up, groove, stay. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. Integral, grind exponential. You down with BCP? That's the way we rotate radially. You down with BCP? Down with BCP? You down with BCP? You down with BCP? That's the way we do things limitlessly. Yeah. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Let's blow. Switch the flow.